What an incredible and engaging audience. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. It's been a great pleasure for me to be here with you guys and to share some insights and thoughts related to one of the most maybe personal area in leadership, which is our purpose to lead. I mean, why? And I think that in the modern time, such things as money, career, status, prestige, and ultimately ego are one of the most common reasons why most of us jump into leadership in order to show success to our modern society. But if you are one who's solely driven with these extrinsic motivators, I may claim, guys, that you have a serious trouble staying grounded. And that you will hardly bring a positive effect to yourself, to your teams, to your organization, and to society at large. Unless you're crystal clear about your intrinsic leadership purpose and do something what you are really caring about, it is very challenging to act as a leader. Those who focus purely on the extrinsic part of the career, at certain point of time, refuse to face the reality, and then are confronted with crisis and very tough why questions. But let's be honest, guys. Even then, most of us try to avoid our fears. Try not just like to talk to ourselves and shut down our inner voice. And try not to having any honest conversation. And that is actually a challenge. It's never late to find your intrinsic leadership purpose. But the sooner you find it, the more fulfilling your life you'll have. Consider this. 30,000 days is an average life in Europe. I mean, so life expectancy. And if you would take the calculator and would try to multiply your current age to 365, you'll get how much the resource is left for you to find your purpose. Then consider the following, that a quarter of this is been already spent to meeting expectations of others. For example, our family, our school, university, early employers. And at a certain period of time, we understand that it is really easier to meet these expectations and make choices based on others, not on ourselves. And by midlife, we find ourselves with means, but with lack of meaningfulness. There is a leadership purpose paradox. In particular, those leaders who focus on their intrinsic motivations, they are outstandingly successful with the extrinsic outcomes, and vice versa. Those who are focused on extrinsic, they fail themselves and they lead their organizations to a disaster. And the bigger organization such people lead, the more danger is behind. This is Elizabeth Holmes, whom I believe some of you have heard about. In 2014, she won one of the richest women in the United States of America, worth of $9 billion, thanks to her innovative, at that time, as we thought, startup called Theranos. Actually, her story is the bright example of the absence of the intrinsic leadership purpose. With her black turtleneck, very specific baritone, and incredible charisma, she captivated the world with the idea to make the health accessible to us all. This invention was believed to have the drastic impact on revolutionizing the healthcare and slashing the diagnostic costs. That came until the light that it was not true. Meaning that her innovative Edison machines were not working, and she knew about that. So actually, the company she drove diluted the samples and actually made the normal blood testing, showing that as if it was the innovation and taken from the few blood drops. In 2015, the Wall Street Journal journalist John Carrera identified that and publicly announced about the fraud, which of course Elizabeth denied. And soon after that, a big criminal scheme was identified. And now Elizabeth is in federal prison, asking appeal to downgrade her sentence from 11 years to a little bit less. What does this story show to us? Actually, I would propose you to reflect on 4 lessons of Elizabeth Holmes. Lesson number 1. So she was always obsessed about glory and wealth, absolutely ignoring her internal moral compass, her intrinsic need to serve others, which led her at the end of the day to the prison. Despite many chances to stop the fraud, she rejected the feedback and got rid of any employees who suspected this, including her CFO. Elizabeth lost her footing and refused to accept the reality she didn't like. And last but not least, notwithstanding her harsh attempts to copy Steve Jobs, even with the way he dressed, she didn't become the purposeful leader, and she didn't become a visionary. What is this? Intrinsic leadership purpose. Well, in a nutshell, it revolves about 2 G's, about give and grow, about others. And those leaders who understand and commit themselves to serving others very quickly come to the point that the work of themselves and their teams might be productive, profitable, and fulfilling. Among various types of the intrinsic purpose, I would propose you some of the following. So helping team members to win and grow. Just like doing something what you really love and match your hobby with your business. Staying true self to your values and beliefs, especially in challenging times. Making difference through innovation, teaching, learning, and many others. These intrinsic motivators lead to the higher level of performance. And the reason is quite simple, because we need people who create meaning for us, and we are looking for companies who deliver this meaning and propose them. I believe that almost everyone in this room wants his efforts to be acknowledged and appreciated. But moreover, we would like to be a part of something greater than just like a monthly paycheck, which is not enough for us, especially for the Z generation now. And actually this artificial intelligence topic, which purely plays without cognitive skills, it absolutely is not capable to replace the leadership qualities of our heart as passion, compassion, values, our intuition, and ultimately intrinsic leadership purpose. As leaders, we have to develop the skills of our heart as much as possible, tackling the current challenges we face. And I think you know that the longest way that each of us, human being, takes during our life is this 35 centimeters between our brain and our heart in order to get them integrated and playing together. The intrinsic leadership purpose is the source of leadership, which definitely comes to our life stories, to who we are. And the life story is the combination of our passions, our values, our talents, of us. When we combine this life story with a little bit deeper understanding of us, with self-awareness, and make the choices which lead us to our true north, then step by step our leadership purpose comes out. But actually the most challenge with this is to understand the meaning of our life, of the crucial events we go through, and try to do our best to reframe them into the opportunities for personal growth and to serving others. Who are the parents in this room? Could you please raise your hands? All right, I'm too. And I think being a parent, maybe sometimes it's not so much about happiness, but about the meaning. Why? Because it goes about others, not about us. And the same is with our teams. The great psychiatrist of the last century, Carl Gustav Jung, told that we only can work through our neurosis when we understand meaning of our suffering, which then goes to the personal growth and to the purpose. The Jungian analyst, whom I like so much, James Hollis, he told that only death is static. And within our life, we have to go through many deaths and rebirths in order to have the meaningful life. Why? Because the purpose, it's not static, it is dynamic. It's going through different ages, through different transformation, through different time. And of course, we can change the way we are telling our stories, and even minor edit to how we tell the stories can change the way how we live and how we lead. When we're talking about unlocking the leadership purpose, which is intrinsic, I would maybe refer to Viktor Frankl, the famous Austrian psychiatrist who went through terrible concentration camps of Auschwitz and Dachau. And he said there are three ways how to do this: through deeds, through work, what we've been doing, through love, and through suffering. And actually, he mentioned several times in his famous book, In the Search of Meaning, that it is really important to look at the task of the universe is being given to us and to take the responsibility to fulfilling the task. When I'm thinking about just like 8 steps, what I would propose for you to reflect on, how to find the intrinsic leadership purpose. Let us just like look at, first of all, this spiral stair and imagine that this is our life, your life. And there are a lot of stairs behind. For some, a lot of stairs ahead. And on each of these stages, each of us is asked different questions and face different challenges. For example, in the early adulthood, we are asking ourselves, all right, so what is our calling? So what should I do? Many of you are students here, and you are thinking, all right, so should I go to marketing? Should I go to strategy? Should I go where? Maybe I should go just like to NGO. Then life goes further, and we are coming to the middle life. And then we ask ourselves, all right, so does my life matter? To whom? When it's really challenging and tough, we're asking, what is it all about? Why? Then time goes further, and we approach the adulthood. And then we are thinking about what will be after us, what we will leave, what the generativity thing we can bring to this world. As the second step, we should really look to the significant events in your life and ask each of them, what are you here to teaching me? Write them down. Talk to them. It's okay from the psychological perspective, no worries. And I would recommend you to write them down, because writing is not only the healing, it is sometimes the eye-opening practice. Think through about the people who make the major impact on you and ask yourself why. Write it down as well. It helps a lot. Think about your talents. And think about this from the holistic perspective. When you were the last time happy helping others? Why? Engage your inner circle, your parents, your friends, your colleagues, to help you understand how it works. Where are your sweet spots? Where are your strengths? Purpose is not just like doing nothing. It's about action, it's about curiosity. You must always act, observe, and reflect. And then again, and then again, and then again. And if it doesn't work, then look again to the curiosity. And curiosity helps you to unlock your purpose. Your energy goes after your purpose. And the way how you're waking up each single morning actually tells a lot about your intrinsic purpose. Who are you guys in this room woke up today in fantastic mood and were happy just like to getting up and be engaged and energetic with the upcoming day? Raise your hands. All right, not bad. For whom it was a little bit more challenging to wake up? Okay. Think about this, because it's really important. The way how you're waking up, it's not only the years to your life, but the life to your years. It should be definitely the alignment between the personal leadership purpose and the organizational purpose. Quite often it is not the case, because many of us leaders, I was the VP of sales and regional director in many companies like Adobe, Transporion, Microsoft, and we all are saying, yeah, it's so important. But then, if it is not match, the chemistry not there, well, it's a challenge. And you always need to think how your personal purpose is matching to organization you work for or you're finding as a founder. Are you satisfied and happy about the industry you're working for? Do you have a leader or a coach whom you trust and who is capable to develop you? It's important. And are you on the job which really plays your strengths and talents? And last but not least, keep learning. I'm 45, and I'm still the student of HHL. Being alumnus of Yale University, London School of Economics, and HHL already. And it's not about the diplomas. It's about the essence of our life, because as soon as we are stopping learning, we are stopping just like to get the meaning. Our life comes to meaningless existence. And it's not going about the university, about everything, because the knowledge and the learning helps us to make our life fulfilling. So, coming to the end, your purpose is actually the essence of who you are and what makes you unique. Great leaders, they subordinate their ego to their purpose, to making step beyond themselves, to think big, to help others, and to forget about themselves. Actually, when you feel anxiety or even fear, please keep in mind this is the first red flag that something is wrong with your intrinsic purpose, and your extrinsic purpose is leading you now. And finalizing my speech, I would like you to challenge with two questions. The first question is, what are you willing to trade your time for without compromising your values, your essence, and who you are? Because that is the most important resource. We discussed this. And the last question, what do you want to be remembered for when your life math will show 0? Thank you for your time.